story of being your grandfather or somebody in their generation being adopted to somebody else in the family was so common, right? But it does not happen today. Why? Just because of doctrine of lapse being implemented by the British in 19th century. Hello. Hi everyone. Do you know that adoption was very common in India? Actually, you might have heard the stories. I know that my great grandfather was adopted by some of his relatives. And I think we have heard many such stories lying prevalent in India where the documentation was not very strong, but people used to adopt people from each other's family. Now, this thing was so common in India at that period of time that British got scared of it. So, even the kings, queens, nobles, everybody used to adopt people from their families or maybe distant relatives. Actually, adoption was so common because at that time the death rate was very high and the chances of kids surviving was very low. So, people used to adopt somebody else from their family just to ensure that their lineage is being continued by somebody else. But this troubled British so much that they got worried. According to the policy of Doctrine of Lapse, which was implemented in the 19th century, British wanted to share the ideology that if a king dies without their heir, then the kingdom would pass on to the British rather than to the adopted children. This actually sent a lot of shockwaves in India, and they in a way created a stigma against adoption because earlier people used to adopt kids for them to carry on their lineage. Actually, Jhansi ki Rani, Lakshmi Bai's kingdom actually fall under this category as well, which led to her being rebellion against this law and policy during 1857. But that's the thing of someday else. This created so many shockwaves and it actually created a stigma in the society that people were worried. They used to adopt kids to carry on their material things and resources and as somebody who will take care of them when they grow old. But since they cannot pass on something to these kids, there were chances that kids won't take care of them in their near future. And this started filtration from the nobles but came deep down till everybody in Indian society. And now it seems very weird to people who adopt because there is an inherent stigma being created in these 200 years by the British due to this one policy. India is at record lows in terms of adoption just because something was ingrained in us which hampered the way we used to think and changed our society. So what we should do is to rethink whether we should carry on the norms which were forced upon us for somebody else's benefit or to look on which was actually good. Because if you try to adopt a child, that child's life gets improved, they get well education, and now that they know they are being adopted, they also have a sense of responsibility to take care for the people as well. This little initiative can help a lot of people because a lot of people struggle with childbirth, and then what they actually do is to take up all those medicines which cause them damage in long run. So rather than that, if somebody wants to adopt, we should actually encourage them because this was that one policy which caused stigma in Indian society.